Welcome to Life Mastered, the podcast, where high achievers and ambitious souls come for the kind of support that fuels both inner growth and outer strength. This is your space for real tools and deep truths, for meeting life's greatest challenges with grace, resilience, and self-connection, and also expanding into your next level of purpose. I'm Molly Claire, your host, master coach, mentor, and guide, because life mastery is not about checking boxes. It's about how you meet yourself in every moment along the way. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to this episode. I am so happy to have Dr. Robyn Graham back on the podcast. She's been here before. We've had conversations on her podcast, and you're going to love the topic today. Hello, Robyn. How are you?
I'm good, Molly, and I'm so thrilled to get to be here with you today. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be such a great conversation. So, as we dive into this conversation, the last time I had Robyn on the podcast, she was had a bit of a different focus in your business, right? Robyn is a business coach. That's how she and I connected. She has been so helpful to me in my business. And it's been really fun as she and I have worked together. As you're going to hear on today's episode, Robyn has made a shift in her business, more to personal coaching, which I'm so excited to dive into. And also, Robyn has been a part of Master Coach training with me. So it's been really amazing to see Robyn in that light and to watch her growth as someone who is well educated, a strong business coach, whip smart, so capable, and to see some of the benefits and shifts that she has experienced in this program. So let's just dive into our conversation, Robyn. Let's do it.
Sounds good, Molly. Let's go.
So tell us. So of course, last time I interviewed you on the podcast, you really you were focusing all of your business on being a business coach, and that shifted a little bit. So tell us about that shift for you.
Yeah, so to me, this is very exciting because I feel like I'm going back to my roots. So, as you said, Dr. Robyn Graham, well, I have a doctorate in pharmacy, and I've kind of moved back into my scientific roots and really, I guess, followed the calling that I have had on my heart for a long time. When I published my book in 2022, I felt led to create a space for women and help them navigate parenting teens with anxiety. But what I've come to realize in studying all the neuroscience programs and everything that I've learned this year, being in your program and really becoming trauma informed and mastering awareness with self as well as other people, is that women are the cornerstone of any home. And if mom is not grounded and centered and connected with herself, the rest of the relationships, especially if anxiety is present, are not going to thrive. And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
very, very thrilled to be able to take everything I've learned in my entire life and apply
Yeah.
it to helping other women navigate motherhood in relation to parenting and anxiety.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
love it. And I want to just highlight a couple of things that you said that really stood out. So, one of the things that you all just heard Robyn say is talking about going back to her roots. And I'm sure you've seen this, Robyn, as well. So many times I see that in the coaches I'm working with, in entrepreneurs, where we start somewhere and we shift and we do different things. And there's something about those roots, that calling that got us started to begin with, that we go back. It's like we go back home, and I've seen that trend a lot, and it's been really, it's beautiful to see that within you. And I had something else to say, but I any thoughts on that, like as I was saying that, in terms of your experience?
It's very interesting that you say that, because I think that we all have, that spirit within us, and we all have all of these life experiences that we go through. And I think sometimes we run from them. And
Mm,
so we go to all of these things to be, to become, to do. And at the surface, it looks great and we're thriving, but there's something deeper inside us that is just like, wait a second, this isn't it. This isn't it. And then we're drawn back to almost the beginning. Like, but I think the
Mhm.
most important thing is that through all of that journey, all of those experiences, the healing has to come for us to be able to go back to those roots. And that is the ebb and flow. That's the windy road that we travel to get back home.
Totally, totally. And as you were talking, I was thinking about the work we do in Master Coach training of self connection, right? Like that at the heart of it is what it is, because we can hear the idea of self connecting. We can hear the idea of being with our emotions and attuning to them, but what does it actually mean? And that's the deep work we do in this program that
Mhm.
allows all of us, right? Me included, to come back home to know the self and therefore to be as strong as possible and to have the greatest impact. I think it has to happen.
Yes, 100% Molly. And I will say that that has been life transformative for me this year. And
Mm,
here's why. Many people who have experienced things in life, you can look at your life and you think, well, and this was me. You look at your life and you think, well, I really haven't experienced trauma.
mm,
And other people have had it so much harder than I've had. And we discount the things that we've gone through. And, we talk about little t trauma, big T trauma, but the reality is trauma is trauma. And anyone who has experienced trauma in their life, and that could be emotional neglect, it could be abuse, it could be myriad things, it could be just a life transformative event that happened that we perceive as trauma. But until we heal ourselves, we cannot help others. And we can't connect with ourselves until we're ready to connect with ourselves. And here's what I mean by that. For years, I thought I had done the work. I
mm-hmm,
thought that I had navigated. I thought that writing my book, You, Me, and Anxiety, was how I healed, right? That
mm-hmm.
wasn't the case, because what happens is there's underlying currents, right, of unforgiveness or holding on to traumas that really have defined our self-worth, or all of these different things. And if we have been in a life where our nervous system is dysregulated and we have been in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn for our entire life, which a lot of us have, a lot of my clients have been, we
Mm-hmm.
aren't connecting with ourselves, because what are we doing? We're people pleasing, we're trying to control, and we're perfectionist. And so
Yeah,
we're not allowing ourselves the time, because even if we don't have something to do, we're thinking of something to do. And so
yeah,
we're not allowing ourselves the time to connect with ourself, our deep
mm-hmm.
inner self. And until we do that connection work, we can't heal. And so
Mm-hmm.
for me, this year has been completely transformative, not only by allowing me to go deeper with myself in a safe environment, an encouraging environment, a sisterhood environment with all of
Mm-hmm.
the other amazing coaches that are in this space, which
Mm-hmm.
I will say, you orchestrate that. And that is invaluable, to have women that are like minded and on the same page in terms of their goals and their desire to serve and help other people.
Yeah,
And then, but until we do that connected work through awareness, all of the things you teach, that's when we can actually access the true healing,
yeah,
which then allows us to better help other people heal.
absolutely. This is what just keeps coming to my mind. When we feel such a deep sense of safety, a deep sense of safety in ourselves, and a deep sense of safety in connection, like in community, that is when some of those deeper things can even come to the surface. They can't come to the surface unless we feel that deep sense of safety.
Mhm.
And I love, love, love that you brought this up. And, when you say, you speak to me cultivating this space of deep safety with other women in connection and in collaboration. And, it's really interesting. Years ago, when I had someone coming in and helping with marketing and doing research and really interviewing my clients and people that have been in my program, and the thing that she said she kept hearing in the theme over and over again was a deep sense of safety. And I'm so grateful for that. And I want to speak to it because it really matters. And I think that as sad as it is, hopefully you can hear. I feel like my mic cord's getting all tangled up because I talk with my hands and then it's all over. But hopefully the sound is coming through here well. But I think that as women, we need to be with one another in connection and in a space where we are offering space and permission for each woman to be unique, to matter, and to have her values matter, and to quit this, comparison and competition. And I think we're getting wise to that. And I am just doubling down on creating that in my community, and I feel like that's the magic. Like, I look at all of you women in this community, and I look at the deep healing and deep transformation that happens, and it is very much in part because of the co-regulation and the safety in community, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would agree with that, Molly. And I think the coaching industry itself is tricky. I think there are a lot of different programs you can get certified through, and you can gather a ton of information and really know coaching per se.
Yeah.
But most of the programs, like I went through ICF certification for my neuroscience certification and working on my ACC. But what I will say is the work we do in your program goes above and beyond anything I have done anywhere else. Yes, we're trained to be ethical coaches. We're trained to, have awareness and all of those things. But what I learned in your program through that, the ability to be more aware, not only aware of what my clients are going through, but aware of myself and
Mm,
aware of that connectedness and the need for connectedness. Because what that does is it opens the door to be able to observe more of what the client is going through and what the client is experiencing. So,
yeah.
case in point, you have a mom who is, over parenting. She is giving her children 10, 20 reminders for one thing. She's trying to control how everything goes in the family dynamic. And why is she doing that? To keep herself safe, to
Yeah.
keep herself from having to have any emotional chaos in her family. The mom has gone through emotional neglect, the mom has been anxious. And so she's overextending herself, wearing herself out, becoming exhausted, trying to control every situation in her life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
unless you've gone through the training, a lot of coaches are not going to recognize what's happening, that her nervous system was completely dysregulated, and that's why she had this need to control, was to keep herself safe, not to protect her kids. Her kids were safe.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can do all the coaching on that, right? And you can show her the things and teach her the things. But in this, and I feel like I interrupted, I feel like you have
No,
more to
keep
say,
going.
but it's like that's the thing. And that's why I say in Master Coach training, like some of my clients that come in, I'm like, let this training be about you. Because the fact of the matter is, you can do a year of Master Coach training and have everything be about you and everything apply to you. And guess what? You are going to be a million times better and stronger as a coach because
Mhm.
when you do that deep work and allow it, you can't help but be more capable, have more capacity, and have a deeper level of understanding of every client you interact with.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And I use that example because not only can I see myself in my clients, but because I've done the work and I have done the extra layer of healing that needed to be done through your program, I can now better observe, be more aware, and be more connected to my client and what they're experiencing. And I don't tell them what's happening, they recognize it themselves just through the
Yeah.
powerful questions. And I think
Mhm.
I just feel like if anyone is looking for a coach, it is crucial that you really get to know who they are and how they coach, because I think there are
Mhm.
a lot of people out there missing the mark. And I'm
Yeah.
not tooting my own horn here. I'm emphasizing the power of your program and how well trained your coaches are.
Well, thank you. And I marvel at the amazing women that come to this program and the power that comes about when they do this work here. I mean, it blows my mind. And I think that um something you said, kind of going back to one of the first things you said as we started talking, and you started saying if the mom is not grounded and self-connected, right? How the impact that that has and what suffers. And I was thinking about this phrase that is often heard, like, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right? We hear this little phrase, but it's like, but really, it's not about being happy. It's about women feeling safe, feeling connection with self, knowing themselves so they can be grounded, right? And what we know and we talk about this so much in Master Coach training, especially in the relationship standpoint, is like, there can be this archaic idea that, in order for the woman to be happy, the man has to be or do a certain thing, right? Where her happiness is outside of her. And then we can go over to this other extreme of autonomy and independence where we're saying, I'm the only one that can make myself happy. And what that means in that extreme sense, which I don't agree with, is that almost like we don't need anyone else, which is also not true, right? And so the
Oh, yeah.
power and the magic is in, how do I, as a human being, understand myself so deeply and so clearly that I'm able to know what I need and that I'm able to do the internal work to believe I'm deserving of what I need and that I can have what I need. And as we build that up in the self, what happens is we naturally end up advocating for it. So we are validating and strong within, and we are inviting in relationship patterns that are also supportive and bring that co regulation and bring that partnership. So I know that was like a little bit of a touching on several things. But the fact is that we, as women and as human beings, I know I love all my men that listen to this too. I don't want to shut you out, like you are a part of this, right? We have got to do the work to be strong in ourselves, to know ourselves, what we need and what we want. And we need to remember that as human beings, we are wired for connection, for partnership, and we need those relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. We are designed for connectedness. And I think everything you just said is so on point. And I think that when when we're able to connect with ourselves and our relationships are healthier, that's when that happiness can come into play.
That's right. That's right.
But if we're living in a place of inner turmoil, emotional turmoil, or a lot of automatic negative thoughts, we're not able to have solid foundations for relationships, and we're just striving, and it becomes
Yeah. Because we're
exhausting.
trying to have good relationships, right? It's like we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to be a good mom. We're trying to be this. We're trying to be that. But I think oftentimes we're so far outside of ourselves that we're never going to be able to create it until we're strong
Hmm.
inside and healed
Hmm.
inside, which means we feel
Hmm.
safe inside.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm.
And
So,
that
okay.
involves boundaries, Molly. And I think,
Mhm.
we talk a lot about boundaries in your program. And I think that was one thing, well, another thing I should say that resonated with me this year too was just establishing those boundaries that I had never established for myself before. I've helped other
Mhm.
people establish boundaries, but for myself,
Yeah.
that was a big step.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I just had a question come to me. So I'm just throwing this at you. Um, it's interesting because so I talk about master coach training, right? I have my information out there and I say all of this. And I think sometimes I will admit, I know you know this, Robyn. I feel like sometimes it's this is what I always say. I always say, like, I know what people are experiencing and they know it. And am I articulating that well enough, right? And so I'm curious because when you were prior to joining Master Coach training, right, you had a certain impression of it, at what it might be. and there was part of you that was drawn to it. And yet, tell me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think actually being in it, you see much more and perhaps see it differently. So tell me about that, like as far as what you thought it was and what it's actually been.
So I mean, I had worked with you for almost a year.
Yeah,
On the other side of this coin, where I was, helping you with business stuff,
right.
and so yeah, I had a perception. I'm like, well, she teaches coaches how to coach,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and I
Yeah.
was like, we were intimately involved in terms of we met every week. You
Yeah.
shared your innermost thoughts. Like it was crazy how connected we were. And yet in my mind, I was like, well, she's teaching people how to be good coaches.
Yeah.
But it's so much more than that. Because, oh, yes, you go through Master Coach training and you are going to be an excellent coach because every expert that enters the room to train us, every module that you teach, the detail of information is so deep. And guess what? It's really kind of fun because you get to take tests at the end. So for geeky people like me, I'm like, oh, I got a 10 out of 10. Yay. I mean, but you make sure that we know the material. And so you're not there to just flip through pages or watch a video. You're there to absorb, to learn, and you're striving to be the best coach you can be, but you're striving in a healthy way because you're doing so
Mhm.
as a healthy individual yourself. You're not leaving all of your baggage right here on the desk as you're learning. You're actually leaving it outside the door, closing the door, and healing from it so that it's not going to influence you negatively anymore, which opens the opportunity to be a better coach for the people that you're serving. And
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm articulating it well enough, but I just have to say it's so much more than being in a space to learn how to be a good coach.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
will say the women in the group, I've had two or three of them on my podcast already. I have developed relationships with them where we talk and we share ideas and we hold each other accountable and things like that. And I have to say the opportunities to be in a space where you're with other like-minded people as you're learning, as you're growing for yourself, there's just
Mhm.
nothing like it.
Mhm.
There's nothing like it. I've been in other programs and you develop surface level relationships with people, but once that door closes to that certification, that's kind of it. You may be connected on
Mhm.
LinkedIn, but you don't have a relationship. I feel
Mhm.
like this space was an open door for developing friendships, deeper relationships, a support system. People I can reach out to say, "Hey, have you had this happen in your practice before?" And any insight that you could share with me, maybe a
Mhm.
new way to approach this question. Like there's a support system that goes along with
Mhm.
this.
Mhm. And you know what, when I think about our community and the master coaches, it's like you want to talk about a group of powerful human beings that have such a heart for serving and growing. It's beyond, it's so powerful. And I was thinking about this because this last weekend I was speaking at an event and I had She Rises, which is, of course, the new book where I've got 12 of my master certified coaches in there and they're sharing their stories and everything. And I kept having people come up to me and say, I can't wait to read this book. And it was like every time I would like see the names and faces of these master coaches and I know them, right? And I without, not just without reservation, like with so much genuine enthusiasm could say to every person, you are going to love this because these women, these master coaches have poured their heart and souls into this. And so that came to mind as you were talking about our community of coaches
Mhm.
because I almost feel like the word coach doesn't even do it justice because
Yeah.
we're really there to support wholeness, safety, healing, and like the greatest expansion of impact possible, which is such a big deal. And I think the world is ready for it. The world is craving it and the world is ready for it.
Yes. And what I will say, Molly, is that I think because the coaching industry is relatively new, a lot of people don't know about it. And they
Mm-hmm.
don't know how valuable it is and how
Mm-hmm.
powerful it is. Most of my, actually, all of my clients have been in and out of therapy for years.
Yeah.
And what we know about therapy is they go to therapy to heal the past, right? But coaching takes you from the present to the future. And when you have the therapy and the coaching side by side, hand in hand, or even, have done some work from the past, coaching becomes so incredibly powerful. And what I have seen from the coaches in the program is these women have all gone through, they've walked the walk and talked the talk. So they're
Mm-hmm.
not just saying, oh, this, that, or the other. They have actually been in the throes of it themselves. They've done the work to heal. And now they are able to truly connect and heal other people through
Mm-hmm.
the use of powerful questions, being completely ethical with integrity and having really high standards of
Mm-hmm.
how they approach their business and how they approach working with other individuals. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that is in and of itself powerful, but that's where really great results come from.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, absolutely. And it's like, results can be measured in metrics, and results can also be just I say just, that's like the worst word to use for it, but the pure powerful transformation of a human being finally feeling at peace,
Mhm.
aligned, whole, and like on their purpose, right? On purpose in their mission, which is a really powerful way. Because I think that's the thing is too many people are feeling so disconnected, and we know that there's like something in us, but how do we capture that? And I think that this work really allows people to get on their path toward a more aligned life. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the other thing is I'm thinking about, because I'm so excited about our 2026 group. Of course, Leah Davidson, who teaches the nervous system work, she's going to be in Master Coach training this year, which is going to be so fantastic to work with her in that regard. I've been in her program as well. And just thinking about the other people coming this year and really thinking about how excited I am to see so many individuals who are ready for this change, right? Ready for a greater understanding of their own emotional world and how do they have a new relationship with self, right? Understanding that there's mindset work and then there is the power of like working with the deep subconscious and completely shifting beliefs while working with our emotional world, right? While working with the nervous system. And so
Mhm.
it's so exciting to me to think that this is something that is available to us that most of us never knew. None of us ever understood, right? That we had so much power to change our lives with our own mind, emotions, and what's inside of us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Molly, I'll add to that too that the tools that you offer us and the tools that we get to experience a level of mastery in, for example, tapping,
Mm-hmm.
they're transformative.
Yeah.
And the coaches that graduate from your program don't only know how to coach, they know how to use other tools in their coaching to achieve more transformation and better results. And I think when you mention peace, we live in a world like anxiety is not supposed to be normal. It's not normal. We're not born with anxiety. However, based on all of the things that you see around you every single day and the heartache that people experience through loss, death, divorce, just traumas, anything. All you have to do is turn on the news and you're going to feel anxiety bubbling up inside of you. And I think that this work is so incredibly important because you're able to help people go from these states of unsettled to peace. And when you said the word peace, it just reminded me of that. Peace is not, it should be more normal than anxiety. But unfortunately, in the state of the world we live in, that's not the case for a lot of people. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and I'm not saying everybody has anxiety, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are a lot of undercurrents of anxiety or fear or unsettled emotions that people, PTSD, all these traumas that people experience, that if we don't address them, they
Mm-hmm.
destroy our body ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Mm-hmm.
know our mind, body, and spirit are so interconnected, interwoven, that we're not able to flourish unless we have healing and wholeness in all three areas in our life. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
one thing about your program. You don't just touch the surface for mind health. We address the emotions, we address the thoughts, we address the body as a whole. And I think that is crucial in terms of achieving the best results, but also allowing more and more people in our world to flourish.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing. It's like, when I think about, I have one woman that is doing master coach training in this coming year that's coming to mind in particular that definitely wants this only for her personal experience, right? She's not interested in building a business. And what a beautiful thing, because what I know is that when when you, like all of you listening, when you are able to change your relationship with yourself, change like revolutionize your sense of self and who you are and be grounded in that. It's like I think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Which if you're listening to this, you can go Google it, look at it, right? It's like we have to have all those layers of needs fulfilled, right? Including not just basic needs like shelter and food, but emotional needs, relationship needs, our self esteem. Those need to be in place. And when they are, that's when we can be human beings who are able to improve the world by doing good, being able to hold space for ourselves and for others, right? And it's like, I just think about the ripple effect of the healing process. And I know one thing that you've mentioned, Robyn, is like the trauma informed piece, right? So in Master Coach training, you're learning how to be trauma informed, how to be safe and ethical, and understand when to refer someone out to a therapist, and also to recognize that actually there is a lot that we can do as coaches to create safety and a space of healing for people that is very much in our scope, and we do it in a safe and ethical way. And I just can't say enough how much, like anyone that's listening to this, um, you know, there is so much power in getting to know yourself and creating healing for yourself, and the way that you are then able to show up for everyone in your life and be at peace and bring that peace to others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Molly, you just mentioned business, and we didn't even touch on that. But you also, in this program, for those of us who do have coaching business practices and are building businesses, that the tools that you provide in that regard are incredibly helpful as well. And I think of our 90-day planning sessions, the
Mhm.
accountability that is there. Meg is always on us, like, where are you? What are you
Oh
doing?
my
And
gosh, isn't she the
it's,
best?
yes. And so you have this support system where you're not going to fall off the rails. Like, you're going to stay on task. You're going to stay on target for the goals that you want to achieve. And I
Yeah.
think, and then you give people, I mean, how many times have we been on these calls, and you give such sound advice to the coaches that are in need of it. And I think people they're so vulnerable with their questions because it does feel
Hmm.
so safe. They ask the questions and you give them the answers to then move them forward on their journey. They don't
Hmm.
have to stay stuck because everybody feels safe and confident in the environment to be able to ask what's needed to be able to move forward.
Yeah, I love that because I mean it's true. I think that and my our community, right? We know the drill now. You get to become and be messy. You get to be sad. You get to be stuck. You get to be in a place of feeling like a victim. Like you just get to come that way because we all do that sometimes, right? And yeah, thank you for reminding me about the business support because yeah, there's the opportunity to design your program or redesign it, right? And we have experts in, and we have the weekly accountability, and we have the 90-day planning sessions. And really my favorite part about it is what a difference between business support and business planning and business strategy versus business support, business planning, and business strategy that's trauma informed. That's understanding that every one of us building a business or showing up at work, we all have a nervous system. And if we are expecting ourselves to just suck it up and fix whatever we're stuck in, we're going to be stuck a lot longer and a lot more often, right?
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
without a doubt, without a doubt. And Molly, I've
Yeah.
seen it. I've seen it. Having been in the business consulting coaching industry for many years, I've seen it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And there's also in there's a lack of fulfillment, there's a lack of peace, there's a lack of confidence and
Yeah.
consistency and stability. And I feel like the coaches that are in your program are just gifted all of this. It's just
Mm.
I probably sound like a great advertisement right now. And listeners, this is all straight from the heart. Like I am such a straight shooter. So this
Mhm.
is like literally and figuratively, but like this program is hands down. Like I am so incredibly grateful that I had this year in this program because it has been such an opportunity for growth for me. My clients are seeing the rewards and the benefits from the program,
Mm.
and my family has seen the benefits and rewards from this program. So, if you are a coach, I highly encourage you to step into this training because no matter what level of coach you are, you will advance. And most importantly, you will discover new things about yourself. And if you're just considering becoming a coach, again, you're not going to have better training than
Mm.
sitting through these sessions with Molly and all of the experts that she brings in. So, Molly, I personally want to thank you for the opportunity to be in this space this year because it was just absolutely life changing and
Mhm.
remarkable. So, thank
Well,
you.
thank you. I mean that it just means the world to me. I know, like I've felt the impact of the work we do here. And I just feel grateful to be a small part of it. Robyn, as you know, it was through really deep crisis for me that a lot of this opened up for me. And I just feel grateful to be able to bring it to this community, to these women. I have a male coach that's going to be training this year, which I'm like so excited to have him there because we there is no end to the good that we can do. And I think the world is ready for healing. We're ready to understand ourselves better, and it's time. So anyway, having said all that, thank you so much for your, sharing your experience and just the way that it's impacted you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an honor to
Yeah.
share it. And if any of your listeners are contemplating, Molly, I'll throw it out there. They can find me on my website and just connect with me, and I'm happy to answer any questions that they have.
Oh. Oh, that would be fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, all of you listening, as you know, Master Coach training is enrolling. We're starting in 2026. I'm telling you, like, it is going to be some powerful, heart-led human beings in there, ready to master the self, ready to make a difference. And so, yeah, thank you for that generous offer. And, those of you listening, you can go to mollyclaire.com, check out Master Coach training there and submit your application. And thanks, Robyn, for being willing to talk with anyone as well about it.
Of
So,
course. Yeah. Yeah.
okay, Robyn. Well, as we finish up this interview, I am so excited about the work that you are doing now as you've really gone back to your roots, working with women and supporting them. I would love for you to tell the audience a little about your favorite part of the work that you do. And then, of course, I want to make sure that we have time to tell them where they can find you as well. So,
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, Molly, the favorite thing uh, the favorite thing that I'm experiencing in my practice is this. These women that I'm working with have all been in like fight, flight, freeze, fawn. They have been perfectionists. They have been trying to control everything. They have been people pleasing their entire life. And when we start working together and they start to understand themselves and they
mhm.
start to let all that go because they now feel safe and connected, the transformation is amazing. And their relationships with their children, with their spouse, coworkers transform. And
Yeah.
and they have so much more confidence to just walk in the woman that they are. And it's just, I
Mm.
mean, I cry with them. We laugh. Like it's just this, it is amazing to just get to do this work. It's just,
Mhm.
yeah. So my favorite thing is always the transformation and just seeing these women grow into who they were always meant to be, but because of past experiences and anxiety, they just have not been able to accept
Mhm.
themselves, love themselves, connect with themselves in a way that allowed them to grow into the woman that God created them to be. And it's just
Mhm.
a beautiful, beautiful thing to get to watch.
Oh my gosh, just as you were talking, because I get to see your face and see your eyes, I can just see like the joy and the light and just the genuine care and connection you feel with these women. What a gift. What a gift. Okay, so many things I could say. Robyn, thank you so much for showing up in your life and for these women and sharing your gifts and especially for being willing to lean in and grow so you can be of greater service because that's really what it requires of all of us, right? We've got to be willing to lean in and grow to be of greater service. So thank
Mhm.
you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Molly, I'll leave it with this. You don't know what you don't know. So
Yeah.
as coaches who have been certified and who think that they've done the work to be excellent, we don't know what we don't know. And I will say that this program brought forth a lot of things that I thought I knew, but I got to go so much deeper. And that
Mm.
just gives me the opportunity to create more transformation.
Yes,
So,
yes,
yeah.
yes. And I see like the power in your work. I can just feel it's like so much good is coming for all of these women you're working with, all of the women that they're in contact with, their kids, their spouses, their communities. So
Yeah.
let's
And
let's yeah.
I like to say, and I think this is a good thing for your program to look at it this way too, is when we invest in healing ourselves, we change the trajectory of our family for generations to come. And
Generations, literally
generations
generations.
to come. And I
Yes,
think that's crucial because if we don't break the cycles or help our clients break the cycles, they're going to be stuck for generations to come. So we give them the opportunity to be the leader of change and positive relationships within their family dynamic. And that changes the future.
totally. Totally. It's like this is my thing. I'm like, we are pattern interrupters. We are pattern interrupters. We are deciding as women that our needs matter, our healing matters, our relationship with self matters, our sense of self. And when we do that, oh, it's so powerful and it affects generations. What a gift to be able to give for
Mhm.
generations to come.
Yeah. So
Okay,
thank you for kicking that off.
yeah, well, there's a lot. It's a group effort, right? We've got like the master coach team. We got all these coaches. We just got to mobilize more coaches. So that's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Robyn. Well, thank you so much. Where can my listeners find you, your podcast, all the things? Tell us.
The best place to find everything about me is the website, therobyngraham.com. You can access the podcast there, and you can also find my book there, as well as a plethora of information and free resources. So it's all there,
Fantastic. And
therobyngraham.com.
your podcast is top 1%, I believe. It's highly ranked. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's top 1% globally ranked. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty
It's
exciting.
it's pretty good. So it's got some great episodes. So definitely check that out. Robyn, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being such an important part of our Master Coach training community this year. And just what an honor. And more to come. Just the beginning.
Just
Yeah.
the beginning. Thanks, Molly.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. I hope you have loved learning from the amazing Robyn Graham. Definitely check her out. And let's just all commit that we're going to just keep moving forward in our lives with a desire to help, a desire to better understand ourselves, that we can impact the world. And I'll talk with you next week. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being here and for investing this time in you. Keep showing up. Keep meeting yourself with compassion. That's truly what life mastery is all about. If you loved this episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And I would be honored if you would take the time to leave me a review. This ensures that this important work will get in the hands of more people. And if you're ready to take this work deeper, join me at mollyclaire.com where you can find all of the ways we can work together. I'll talk with you next week.